Aloha and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho with the Too Close to Call podcast series, joined as always by my co-host Pags. And this is the Going Streaking series where we're talking college foosball.
We are in the thick of it right now, baby. 2 weeks down. We're getting into conference play. College football is back. Throwing on game day Saturday morning. There's no better feeling.
No better feeling, my man. Doing the Home Depot dance at home, fixing whatever the hell you got to fix. You got Kirk Herbstreit and the coach talking to you in the background, and you're just killing time until noon when somebody's going to kick somebody's ass on the gridiron.
Yeah, not really a lot of great games this past weekend. Let's start it off with your Michigan Wolverines barely scraping through a win against Army at home. Were you nervous?
Oh my God, dude, the entire time. Are you kidding me? Just Army's coming in. I think it had won 10 in a row or something like that. They won 10 games the previous year. They had basically everybody back. They had gone into Oklahoma the previous year and taken that team into overtime. So you know they're not going to walk into the big house and shit their pants and be overwhelmed by the moment. As well as, dude, it's Army. I played those teams in college in baseball. They're in the Patriot League in the rest of everything except for football. And they're disciplined. They don't make mental mistakes. They don't miss assignments. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just pound, pound, pound. And they run that goddamn triple option, which you can't replicate. I mean, who the hell at Michigan's going to run a triple option that's anywhere close to the speed that Army has running it?
Dude, we played a triple option team in Georgia Southern in college, and there really isn't anything to prepare for it. You just got to hope that everybody has their man, but you're never going to be able to replicate that in practice because these guys have been running it for years and years and years, and no one's going to – you never know who has the ball. But the one thing you do know is if you can't stop the run, you're going to wallop this team because they can't throw it. And for the life of me, I have no idea why Army even wanted to throw the ball in that game. And it ended up screwing them because they threw a pick in the third quarter, and then at the end of the game there, play for the fucking tie, kick that, and go to the third overtime.
Dude, there was
the ball, it gets sacked, and then that's it.
There was a point during the game where Army had 60 running plays and 4 passing plays.
Yeah.
It was wild, dude. And literally after the game, Michigan held Army to its lowest rushing per carry total, or however the hell you say it, like yards per carry in the last, 3 years. But somehow Army stuck around because Michigan put the ball on the turf 3 times, lost all 3 fumbles. Shea Patterson lost 2 more fumbles after he lost a fumble last week to Middle Tennessee State. So apparently we got to get his ass running through the gauntlet or whatever it is in practice. Maybe we got to get more pool noodles. Get the John Gruden pool noodles out and just start whacking the shit out of Shea Patterson when he's walking to class out of nowhere. Just have somebody pop up. He's got to carry a ball 24/7 to class, and Harbaugh's going to pay interns to pop out of bushes and just fucking strip them in the middle of the quad and be like, now you owe 50 push-ups. Ha ha ha, sucker, dude. I mean, come on. We got to do something, man. It's getting ridiculous. And then they had 2 fourth downs where they went for it on borderline field goal, probably in range, but still a difficult field goal, and you don't get either one of them. I mean, you give the ball back to Army 5 different times with a style of offense that even if they get 1 first down, they're going to run 6, maybe even 7 plays because they fucking go for it on 4th down all the goddamn time. And every one of them's a run. So you got 30 seconds coming off the clock. So at the very least, it's 4.5, 5 minutes, and they didn't even go anywhere. They limit your possessions, and if you turn the ball over half the time, boom, you got yourself a football game, dude. And then the goddamn officials, holy shit, Pags. This whole review thing. Oh, it's non-reviewable. How are there plays in college football that are non-reviewable? I understand holding, whatever, penalties, but this was not a penalty. This was a play where if you watch the replay, you go, I know what happened. Oh, we can't. I accidentally blew my fucking Fox 40 whistle because I'm a jackass, and now we cost you guys a touchdown. Imagine if that happens in the national championship game between Alabama and Clemson, and it's non-reviewable because this fucking joker wearing zebra outfit decided to blow his whistle like an idiot.
Inadvertent whistles, man. It's the cardinal sin for a referee. You do not blow that fucking whistle unless you are sure that that play is over.
Yeah, and then even if you do, you should be able to go, yeah, I was wrong. He scored. We looked at the replay. Like, the other team didn't stop playing because they heard the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was so far ahead of everybody, and it's just one of those where, like, listen, everybody knows what happened. Let's all just be fucking smart here and not try to rule the rule book. And let's realize what happened. Like, let's go to the playground for 30 seconds where everybody looks at each other and goes, yeah, okay, you fucking scored. All right, kickoff. Let's go.
Yeah, it's frustrating. The cardinal sin of
non-reviewable play. I want all of those fucking gone as long as it's not penalties or shit like that. Like, just everything's reviewable. They look at it anyway. Every close thing they look at in college regardless, dude. I can't take the replay system in college football. It's unbelievable. You got to make the coaches challenge these plays. It was literally week 1. I was watching Pitt, Virginia. 4 plays in, 2 of them got reviewed. Now, yes, both of them, very close plays. Could have gone either way. Totally understand that. But you need to make the coach of the opposing team be able to fucking challenge you. Like, you just don't go, oh, we don't know if he was in bounds or not. Make a call. Make the other guy challenge the flag if he thinks you're wrong. Don't just be like, well, it doesn't matter because they're going to look at it anyway, so I'll just make a call regardless, and, somebody's going to jog over to the booth here. These are 4-hour games, man. It's getting unbearable.
It is. It's tough to watch, but Michigan lives on. Did they drop in the rankings at all?
Yeah, they went from 7 to 10.
That's about right. But, hey, still 2-0. Who cares?
Oh, God, Jesus. But if this shit keeps up, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Knock on wood. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Oh man, Gruden, he's the best. But
what do you got, man?
A&M Clemson. Clemson pretty much going to skate through the rest of the year, keep that win streak going. Probably going to be undefeated, going to the championship game. So
how about that backdoor cover there? Did you see that one?
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
Backdoor
with what, like 2
A&M,
seconds,
baby.
4 seconds left?
Unbelievable. I think Clemson, they're just so freaking good. We're supposed to get a good game out of them versus Syracuse this week, and Syracuse stinks. So.
Oh, dude, they were exposed by the turtle. Fear the turtle.
Dude, I think Michigan might have signed the wrong guy from Alabama.
Who?
The OC from Alabama last year. He's freaking got Maryland putting up freaking points left and right. Looks like the Big Ten has a couple other teams in the fold that are going to be challenging to some other teams like a Michigan, like a Penn State, because Penn State fucking struggled with Buffalo in the first half. So I think what I've taken from this 2 weeks and this short sample size is there are 6 teams that could possibly win the national championship, and really only one that is head-on favorites, the best of the best.
Okay, who do you got? Who are those 6?
I got Clemson and Alabama. They're in Tier 1.
Okay.
And then under that, Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, and Ohio State.
You got those 4 in that next tier?
Yeah, I mean, LSU, if they keep playing the way they keep playing, and my boy Joe Brady keeps fucking dominating, they're going to have it. They play Georgia, they play Alabama, so they could easily etch themselves into that first tier.
Well, the question is there, now that I think all 3 of those teams are arguably competitive when it comes to who you think could win those games, depending on who's at home, who's healthy, who's not. What if all 3 of those kind of split with each other, man? And what if you got a 1-loss Georgia, 1-loss Bama, 1-loss LSU, and they're all kind of to each other? Do you think that could, fuck one of them out of the playoff with, maybe a Notre Dame or, other SEC teams, Auburn, Florida being in the top 10? Dude, you got 5 SEC teams in the top 9 right now in the rankings.
I think that's the shit of it, and I think this season's going to be the season where we start making the press for 8 teams because 3 SEC teams aren't getting into the playoffs. Clemson's going to go undefeated. Ohio State and Oklahoma could both very well go undefeated. I mean, Oklahoma's going to have to beat Texas, and Ohio State's going to have to deal with Michigan and Penn State and all those guys. But if they do go undefeated, I don't see why they wouldn't get put into the college football playoff based on how years past have gone. So it's going to get really interesting, especially if Georgia's undefeated and LSU or Alabama, whoever, their only one loss is to each other, and then one of them goes and beats Georgia, that team's in, and then it's LSU, Georgia.
You're complicating things here. In that scenario you just read, you got your 3 unbeaten champions, and then you'd get your SEC champion. It'd be that simple.
I know.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who beat who and who beats who when and who's that's it. You got your SEC champions in. Somebody's getting hosed.
LSU and Georgia.
Somebody's getting hosed. You know, there is no argument. Somebody's getting hosed, but your champion's getting it.
2 of them are getting hosed.
No, only one of them. You'd have unbeaten ACC, Yeah, I guess 2 SEC teams are hosed, but they're not conference champions, so they're not hosed, in my opinion. You lost. You're out.
No, exactly. But I'm saying is this shit's going to get bubble up to be like, hey, we need 8 teams.
Here's the real kicker, Pags, in the shitstorm where you're talking about, is throwing an unbeaten Notre Dame team.
Oh, God.
Now work me through your scenario. Unbeaten Oklahoma, unbeaten Ohio State, unbeaten Clemson, unbeaten Notre Dame, and a 1-loss. Who gives a shit? LSU, Georgia, or Alabama? Who is an SEC champion?
Bro, that would be wild. Oh, I kind of hope it happens. I want to see what the fuck happens there. Because if they leave a 1-loss SEC team out who has played the best schedule to date, and they leave them out, oh my God, I got so giddy just listening to you say that because it's going to be a shit storm.
Right? I'm not...
Throw an undefeated Utah Pac-12 champion in there, too.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have some fun.
Wild. Oh, my God. I don't even know what would happen. I think they would just make okay, we're doing 8 teams. I know we didn't make it 8 teams, but we need 8 teams.
Yeah, and you know what the worst part is, Pags? You know what would happen, and it's what I say every year, and it's as elementary as the 4 unbeatens would be in because that team lost. The SEC team lost. Oh, it's to them. It's here. It's there. It's them. And you know what? They lost. These other teams didn't. Stop playing other teams that are good because if you don't lose, you're making the playoff from a Power 5 conference. No unbeaten Power 5 conference team, correct me if I'm wrong, has ever missed the playoff.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
Right? And Notre Dame, I think both times they were unbeaten, got in as well. So it's literally as simple as don't lose and you're in, and everybody tries to play the game of, oh, LSU, you should totally go and play Texas. Well, that game only benefits you if you win it. Texas right now, yeah, maybe they get a little bit more street cred. Hey, they push LSU, they're back, they keep getting recruits. But you know what? They're fucking Texas. They're getting these kids anyway, okay? Like, there's no kid that's going to go to Texas now because they challenged LSU in a football game. But there may be a kid who goes to Notre Dame instead of Texas because Notre Dame went undefeated and made the playoff, and Texas is a 1-loss or 2-loss, Big 12 runner-up because their only other loss is to Oklahoma twice, or 10-3 because they lose twice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Texas, here's the Sugar Bowl.
You don't play these games. Penn State's got it figured out, man. The hardest game they got is Pitt. It's what, and they're 2.5 touchdown favorites. It's what you do. Like, stop playing these games, and unless the playoff extends to 8, where now you're playing for probably a little bit of seeding. Then there's no reason to play these games because you literally, like Michigan, if Michigan goes unbeaten, nobody's going to say, well, they barely beat Army. It happened to Oklahoma last year. Just win the football game. It don't matter who it is. Just win the football game.
Exactly.
It's not fun to talk about with the experts of, oh, well, they beat them by 12 and they only beat them by 4. And then this common opponent on this day, well, they were a different team in week 10 than they were in week 2. And you know what? No, if you're unbeaten at the end of the day, you're going to make the playoff. Like, it's not fun to talk about. It's not interesting, but it's literally what they've shown. And history says just win and you're in, baby.
Well, they got to fucking figure this shit out. But what do we got next week coming up?
Week 3 is a fucking downer of a week, dude. No ranked versus ranked matchups across all of college football.
You got to be kidding me.
Nothing, dude. There's a couple of unbeaten versus unbeaten matchups, but nobody ranked that's ranked.
Well, you got the ACC game of the year, my man.
Who's that?
Syracuse Clemson.
Yeah, exactly. That was supposed to be the one, but Maryland obviously showed the real Syracuse, so I think that one will be a whitewash now. And then you got Florida State at Virginia, and Florida State isn't Florida State anymore. They're just a middling team there, so Virginia could certainly win that matchup. Chip Kelly at UCLA, they welcome Oklahoma. We thought that may be a competitive game, but not so much it's looking like. And literally game day is at Iowa State. Okay, I guess. Yeah. Sure. Woohoo! Cyclones, Hawkeyes. What are we going to talk about? Corn? What are we doing here?
Oh, I don't know, man. This is you always have one of these weeks every year. And I feel like it's normally later in the year, and game day will go to like North Dakota State or some big rivalry from 1AA or something like that.
Sure.
But, yeah, it happened early. Hopefully we got conference games coming up. There's always going to be a good SEC game on every week. I feel like this is the one week where we're not. I guess Florida-Kentucky is going to be a decent game, but, yeah, it's going to be tough. Next week's going to be a fun college football unless we get a upset this week.
Seriously, dude. And, all right, 2 quick predictions before we run. Hit me quick. Pitt, Penn State. Penn State at home favored by 17. What do you got with your fun coupons?
Penn State by 14.
Oh, so you're taking Pitt in the points.
They'll cover.
Okay, interesting. I think that may be a late cover by the Panthers, to be honest with you. I think they may be down, 7 or 24-21 with a late touchdown kind of thing. But last one, Maryland at Temple. Maryland only a 7.5-point favorite.
I'm going with the Owls, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, the Temple Owls, dude. I don't know anything about them, man. In my eyes, that's easy money with Maryland after kicking ass.
I really do think Temple's a better team this year. I think they're going to win the American Conference. I don't know if they'll beat Maryland. It's just the homer in me saying, let's go Temple. But I think it'll be a good game.
All right, interesting. Well, all you Temple fans out there, give us a call. Let us know why you're going to beat Maryland, or talk to us before Saturday and or after Saturday, and let us know how that worked out for you, Mr. Tony Pagliaro. 3-minute time limit here, Tone. All right, brother?
Yeah. Don't get cut off again. I know you have a lot to say about the Owls.
Yeah, you gotta make me do some editing and shit when you get cut off here, dude. So keep it under 3 minutes, but do call the hotline. You can get that number from Anthony, if you guys know Anthony out there, or you can check out our Instagram in our description. We have it there, as well as wherever you're listening to this episode. If you just scroll down just a little bit, it'll be right there. And honestly, if you're on an iPhone, I think it gives you a link. So it's pretty straightforward. You click the link, something will pop up. It'll say call or cancel. I'm not sure which one there will actually dial the phone number. So why don't you guys try them both? Let me know which one works. And then, we'll talk to you and we'll get your reactions, and we'll have some quality content to discuss next week as we talk college football.
College football is always fun. I know we don't got much to watch this weekend, but hey, it's football on a Saturday. It's on from 12 to 1 a.m., and it's giving you something to do, people. We will talk to you guys next week with some better matchups with a recap of week 3. We'll see you guys then. Later.
Peace.